And we're back. Pickleball Courthouse back here. It's been a long time. Super excited to be back. Cliff will give you more information on why we were on a little break. But officially, we're here. We got a ton of guests for you. David Nell, Kim Bachrush, and BJ Beecher in the house, baby.
Oh.
We got our...
Bachrush?
Yes.
Bachrush?
Bachrush.
Bachrush?
Yep,
McGuire.
Is that French?
McGuire now. Yeah, McGuire
Okay.
now.
Okay.
McGuire
Yeah,
now.
nice. I like
Easier.
It's easier, a lot easier. Yeah.
Really rolls with it.
Hey, before we go any further, this episode is brought to you by Red.
Do you ever wonder why pickleball paddles are so expensive? Introducing the Red by Robust Pickleball. The Red paddle brings you cutting-edge Gen 3 technology, foam-injected SPS core, and a T700 carbon fiber face, all at an unbeatable price. This high-performance paddle offers top-tier power, precision spin, and incredible touch for just $145. Go to robustpickleball.com, use code PIRATES to get 10% off your purchase. Play Robust.
But before that, I just got to announce I have my gavel here, and I'd be remiss if I didn't use this. So, Pickleball Courthouse, we are officially back in session.
Here we
Hell,
go.
that sounds so good. Cliff talked a little bit about the Red paddle. One of the new paddles on the market, Gen 3 technology. A lot of good stuff with that paddle. I've personally hit it myself, and I do like it. Plays a little similar to the Paddle Tech if you've played that before. A lot of grit on the paddle. Fantastic spin, great power. I'm actually glad Cliff switched from a softer paddle because I used to whoop up on him a lot with that soft-ass paddle he used before. But it's getting a lot harder to do that with the Red now. It's getting a lot harder to do that.
The game has changed now, so you cannot play like with control paddle anymore. If you play with control paddle, you're just gonna get burned.
Has anybody actually tested the paddle Cliff's using right now?
His actual Red right now?
His backhand is coming off 200 miles an hour.
Yo, for real, we played him today.
Yeah, but
and
that's steroids. That's not the paddle.
flex on
That
him
is
for us. Flex on him
steroids.
for us. Yeah, that's pure muscle, baby. That's pure muscle.
Jesus. So seriously, we have our MLP today. It was tough.
Yeah, no, it was tough.
How did you do?
Technically, I won.
I don't know about that. Here we go.
Technically, our team won. The other team just played 2 extra games and we lost the court, so not my fault, but we were up until they played the extra 2 games.
So I think that thing is weak because every time they put me in the last position. So
you do that. You do that to yourself.
Why? No, I don't.
You
do that
to yourself.
If I put myself,
Aren't you the one that
Yeah,
makes it?
Cliff usually picks the
always in
lineup.
the
I have
bottom.
a sprained ankle. Why was I fifth on that list? Why was I
Because-
even on that
Yo,
list?
you were 2 games away from winning it. So
he's 7 feet tall.
we
Stop
subbed you,
complaining.
but you subbed out your captain spot, so that's cheating in itself. But whatever, we're not gonna go into that.
Did you play today?
Nobody knows what we're
No,
talking about.
I refuse to.
Pickleball.
I refuse to play because you guys are using the serpentine draw. It doesn't work. You got to go down, down, up to make it fair. You cannot go down, up, down.
You
It's
gotta
just
go
like
down, down, up, not
Down,
up, down.
down,
Yeah.
up.
What are you
down,
talking
down,
about?
up. So you pick from the weakest captain picks first,
Yes.
the second player, right?
Yeah.
Then the weakest captain
picks again.
Yes, because he's
picks
the
again,
weakest.
and then he gets the
Last pick.
he gets the last guy on
That would not have
So
gone.
but the thing is,
gets
David-
he gets a
I like
base
more.
B
No.
player. He
I
gets a
like
base B player, base C player's weakest D player.
The thing is, we don't have weakest captain. Like all the captain, they almost
All
at
weak.
the same level.
Pretty much all weak.
I would love to watch y'all determine who the weakest captain is.
Yeah. So
Push up.
It's
I know, right?
we know.
Marsh. We know. Oh, you already know. That was awkward there.
Hopefully they're not watching, but whatever. No, it was good. It was good. Like we had top 3 teams picked 3, 4, and 5. So
this is the thing. I'm at the
Standard,
bottom.
middle.
yeah.
I have to pick. I don't even have to pick. They just give me like the player no one wants to play with.
But
I
that's
will-
not
I will
how it's
say
supposed
there-
to be. You're
but
supposed
the-
to get the base D player.
No, but
Then
here's
it's more fair.
No.
I think the other problem is there's a steep fall off with like the last
No.
4 to 5 picks.
No, absolutely.
Like I think like until then, like most of the guys like you could equate with each other. Like first round, second round, you can equate with each other. But like if you're one of the first 2 or 3 picks in the last round and you're able to like get some of the top guys early, then it's good. Because I don't think there's that much discrepancy in the girls. So like I think the captains that did well, all 3 captains picked their girl last.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. And the 2 captains that did poorly picked their girl in the first round. So all the captains that picked their girl in the first round did bad because they ended up with bad guys, and all the captains that did well,
I did well.
picked the guys.
I did well with my girl today, and I picked her. She was like my.
Yeah, but your guys didn't do well at all because that's the
I don't
problem.
want to get in trouble. Do you know who I was playing?
He was playing with the Russian. He was playing with the Russian.
Let's drop some names.
He was playing with the Russian. That's
We all know the Russian.
I'm in trouble. Sorry,
listen,
Mark.
But no, like you picked your girl last. I picked my girl last. Ethan picked his girl last, and we were the top 3 teams.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
That's
because
what happened.
who was your second guy?
My second guy was Austin Best.
No,
Yeah.
your first. Oh, your
My
first
first guy was AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What-
Because I
who
picked my
was your
guy
first
first.
guy?
He picked his guy first. He got Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
what-
thing.
what-
Ethan picked his guy first. He got Carlos. Pick your guy first. You picked the girl first. To be fair, you had the last pick, so all the good guys were like kind of already gone.
Oh,
But,
tell me about that.
and yeah, Gary's team did pretty well too. He had a top guy in there, but yeah, I think we need up the standards of our MLPs. Also, nobody knows what we're talking about, so let's go on a topic that people can actually like relate with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're gonna dive into paddle technology. Got a lot of paddle nerds around here. I test a lot of paddles. David tests a lot of paddles. Cliff tests a lot of paddles. BJ, for the most part, uses his own whatever that
No
paddle
brain
is. But
paddle, yeah.
but
No
he knows
one
what he's talking
yeah,
about,
no one
so-
knows about that paddle, but
I work with a lot of paddle brands.
David,
yeah, for real. Yeah, Kim works with a lot of paddle brands. She knows what's going on in the market.
we're not gonna talk about Kim paddle. So I want to ask you something because I know David, you were like the first person like to play with the red when
First getting big.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
The red.
Remember what he told you to say.
yeah, David, don't forget the script.
Remember, turn page.
I mean, it's much better than the Varus.
Really?
Accurate.
Oh yeah, way better than the Varus. I haven't set up mine correctly yet, so I still need to put some weight because I've got the 14 mil, which 14 mils doesn't matter what you play. 14 mils need weight.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think it's probably touch better than the Christian Alshon Battletech Bantam. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I've had.
I think it probably is comparable to that, but I think the red is just a little bit more controllable. But I do like more shorter shape.
Shorter shape?
Yeah,
Like the more standard shape?
16-8 instead of
Yeah,
16-5.
yeah. So more of a standard shape than
Yeah.
elongated. Yeah. I feel like that's going around in the paddle space. A lot of people for doubles are preferring a more standard shape, wide body, whatever you want to call it. James Ignatowicz had that post that kind of went viral where he was like, "It's the future of the game, square shaped paddles."
I don't
Like,
think it's gonna happen. Sorry.
it's. I'm telling you.
We're talking like
Yeah.
So like the
square
Scorpius
Do you
shape.
remember
No,
the
like the
old
Scorpio shape.
Prince paddle? The old Prince paddle, something like that.
Nah,
uglier.
No, the the Scorpius shape, the
Scorpius shape, yeah.
Pickleball Apes Pulse V shape, Rhombus R2 shape.
So not like 100%. Not like
No,
not
no,
like
no,
the
no,
Colin Johns, like what he was using.
So no, the Colin Johns,
just like
precisely the Colin Johns. That's the Scorpius, yeah. So precisely the Colin Johns shape. So that shape is what everybody's like carbon 2 shape. Everybody's talking about that kind of style.
Yeah, and it's not only about like sweet spot. I think the sweet spot has not that much of a difference, but
Not for higher level players, but yes.
But hand speed. That's where
Yeah,
it's
the
at.
swing weight on these standard paddles are so low compared
Yeah.
to like
Because
the
then you can
elongated
add
paddles.
your weight to customize it, and you're not going to lose that much
No,
hand speed.
I don't think it's
Where
matter right now
with the long
technology.
paddles, you're
No,
you're
because
making
that
them hit
paddle,
heavy.
The red paddle is 7.75, so this is nothing. This is pretty light.
Yeah, but what is the swing weight?
Oh, it's like 109.
No, that's impossible.
That is low.
That's impossible.
This is.
But for a 7.75, yeah, once you add weight, that thing's going up. Like if it gets up to 8.2, I'm sure the swing weight's going over like one.
Yeah, I don't think it's
120.
109.
I'm telling you that the same thing too.
Is this approved?
You just can check. Can you? Do you have your phone?
This
USAP.
where's
approved?
the PB Core stamp?
The one that Cliff
The new
uses
ones,
is
the new
not
ones,
approved.
new set's gotta come
That
out.
thing
Yeah.
is coming off 200 miles an hour.
Cliff has a special.
Yeah,
paddle.
everyone was
Cliff's
crying.
is crazy.
Yeah, everyone was.
But he
crying
also
about
just
the
hits the
paddle
ball
today.
damn hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
his
wild.
backhand's
He
great.
used to hit it like that with the Forest, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, so now I just hit it like 50% of my power now.
Mm.
Because
Oh, just
yeah.
50%.
Yeah. The bicep again.
Big
Watch
man,
out.
baby, big man, big man right here. But no, it's good. I think the square shapes, like, personally, I like the reach of the elongated, but I use a lot of one-handed play style, so I actually like the Magna shape, like short handle, long face, but still keeping the 16.5 total length. I think that shape I like a lot. I know Forster does a lot. Like there are some pros that just prefer that. I think Proton with the new Flamingo is doing something similar. You see Diescu and CJ Klinger all like almost choking up on the grip a little. Gabe Tardio, prime example, has his hand like in the middle of the grip, not all the way at the
Yeah,
bottom.
because the way he did is like fast and he just punched it like
Exactly.
that.
So I
he
think
need to
that
be
shape-
close. Yeah, you need to be
That
close.
shape also, especially
of
for
the
like
bottle.
one single-handed players, that shape is really good. But we're getting into like an era where now like these super power paddles are starting to go away. So the Yola
Which is-
Mods, the
yeah,
Gearbox
we-
Pro Power,
What
Black
you gonna
Ace.
do, David?
Huh?
You cannot
No,
play
I
with
tell you,
the
you
the
know
Red
who's,
Bull,
you know who's
yeah.
going to make a comeback? Selkirk.
Decent prediction.
Selkirk's going to make a comeback because all these BS paddles like the Yolas, I mean, they delaminate after
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's
a
the
clear
idea,
one,
yeah.
a
What
clear
a great
one.
week that is before it does.
Yeah, but
I got a guy that delaminated in 1 hour.
Yeah, but
And you
but
can give it
I
like,
believe
but
it.
it-
yeah.
I
Are we
mean-
talking about Mitchell here?
Yeah,
like, is
yeah,
that what we're
yeah.
talking about?
You know,
Are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
I mean,
Mitch here?
I got a guy.
listen, you see, listen,
know
you
the guy.
see these ultra skinny guys at clear one hit the ball at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm like,
So the thing about it,
everybody
David,
plays with the mod.
Yeah,
Then
the
they
thing
look at
about
you as they
the thing
walk away.
about it, I was scared because he didn't play with the virus when I first created, but for some reason, Mitch. He likes the red, and that guy he got I don't know maybe 400 paddles in his bag.
Probably 500.
Because
For real.
every time like an hour he just delaminated
Paddle
them.
dealer.
So
He
he
breaks
was
everything.
playing with my paddle. I was a little bit scared about it, but he's still playing with it. He's been playing with it for 2 months. He only changed it like
But
once. So
he
it's
also
really good.
puts lead, like double layers it around the entire.
No, he doesn't do
Yeah.
nothing.
He doesn't?
He just played with the red like stock, and he hit the ball like crazy.
And he
just
came from
does.
what? Yola, what was he playing with before?
No, he's playing everything.
Yeah,
He was playing
yeah,
everything,
got
but yeah, he was
Circuit,
playing.
all
He was
that.
playing the
This
Yola.
one.
everything.
Wait, to go back to your later comment about the square paddle length,
Yeah.
is reach not as important now on the pro level?
You're getting this much more reach.
It's
This much makes
it's
a difference,
it's
folks.
That
This makes a
matters
difference.
whenever it
It's-
I don't know,
Maybe
kids.
somebody gets 90.
Let me just state that for everyone. This much makes a difference.
Whatever.
get in the comments.
In
Get in the
life in
comments.
general.
Does half an inch make a difference? BJ needs to know.
I speak
BJ
30%
BJ needs to
model.
know. Does half
what
an
she
inch
said.
make a difference?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Well,
Did your head just go?
Every guy here is saying like nah, and like Kim's out here very adamant about this.
Yes, it does. It does make a difference.
No,
You're
but, like,
reassessing your whole life now, aren't you?
no, actually,
he's yeah, David. For those of you that don't know, this white man sitting to my left is African American.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
from South
Yeah.
Africa.
Yes.
So yeah, he's got some bragging rights over there.
So,
He
David,
likes to he likes to say he's African from the waist down. So we'll take that how it goes.
I wanted to ask you, David, what do you think about Federico? What just happened with this new Adidas paddle?
Lost in singles to Tom Evans.
okay, number one,
round
who's
32.
Federico?
Stackster, number one singles player in the world.
that's a guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I took him to 3 in the APP tournament. Yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
4 years
Weird
ago.
guy.
When was this?
yeah. He just
His
started.
second week of playing.
that's really
and so
happened?
did I.
That's really happened?
Fed, if you're out there,
But I was drinking till 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm sure he wasn't. So, I don't know. I mean, you know,
Do you
Like he
think
was-
it's the paddle? Do you think it's the paddle?
no, wasn't he injured or something? I think he's injured.
He pulled out of doubles the day after.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
did
it was-
pull out of
yeah,
doubles
no, he
for
was
injury
injured.
the day after.
No, apparently the new Adidas is going to be super good.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's.
I mean, people
everybody's-
are entitled to have a bad day
Not only that, so this is
every now and then.
this is something I would say right now. We don't have like so many bad paddle now. So it's really hard now.
You also
to do
don't
like
have a
bad
lot of
paddle.
legal
unless
paddles.
you playing with that thing, whatever you're playing with.
I like it.
Of course you do.
I mean, it's no freaking Yola mod. Everybody, I feel like everybody
Gearbox.
now is just everything's coming off so hard, and they're like everybody's trying to like milk it as long as they can until it's banned.
Yeah, and I think
Couple
that's the problem. It's like we played APP qualifiers last week.
How did it
and-
go?
Well, made draw in mixed, which was fantastic. Played Purple Jesus, great player. Love the guy, super nice guy. But yeah, first round of men's we played against a Ripple and the new Franklin C45, and like the power that's coming back is still crazy.
Also Franklin.
Franklin,
pretty-
ball
the Franklin
did you play
C45 is pretty good. We played a Franklin.
X40?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So we played a Franklin X40.
This
but
from
yeah,
the
we
team.
played the Ripple and the C45. The C45, the power didn't bother me. The sound bothered me.
Yeah, it's the sound.
Cause like a dink, a drive, a speed up, like everything sounds the same. So I couldn't tell. Like my timing was just off because I couldn't tell how fast the ball was coming based on the sound. The Ripple's just fast. Like I've played it before. It's crazy. It just got delisted. And they're working on getting the approval back up and putting that paddle out. But one of those things is like qualifiers don't have mandatory testing. So if you are someone that's like trying to go play a pro tournament for the first time, you might just face a DLI mod in the first round. Like I saw tons of them at APP. Like you could hear them from a mile away.
Wow.
Like those paddles are crazy. But if you don't get randomly tested, you can use it, and there's no paddle challenges.
but how
So
they
if you
gonna
know
test-
it's delaminated, you still can't go challenge the paddle.
How are they going to test it?
So the testing that they were doing at
There's a
that
van out
site-
back.
It's a van out
The
back.
van out
No,
back.
USAPA was on site. They were doing testings. They were checking
With what?
grit. They had the equipment in there.
Like,
Did they have-
like fingerprints.
Did they have a ball cannon?
No. So for DLAM or core crushing, they were just pressing fingers. Which for a lot of these mods you can
That's
tell.
very
For a lot of
scientific.
these mods you can tell.
That's-
But like
I
they
feel
had
like-
it. They had it for the grit test and all that. They had their equipment in the back.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I always load a freezer in the back of my car just to put my, just in case it gets tested with a finger press. So, yeah.
Everyone knows your Ripple is it's delisted.
Yeah, his rip was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's just one of those things. Like, do we want to see testing for all players, regardless of qualities or main draw? And two, like, how can testing norms be improved for these pro tournaments? Because it's a lot of money to go play pro. Like, it's like I paid almost $500 to go play two events. Like,
And what are you playing? Like one game to 15 or something?
one game to
It's
15.
ridiculous.
Like, you're paying $250 for one game to 15,
Oh
and
my
then a
gosh.
potential backdraw match.
That's your assigned player.
Or if
Then
you
they'll
play
discount
full-
that for you.
Yeah. Which is crazy. They'll just put you in the main draw if you're a signed player and you don't even
Yeah.
have to get through qualies, which is ridiculous because half of these main draw players probably won't make it through qualies. But
As they skip past you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
PK.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like,
That's-
didn't I beat you last week?
Yeah.
You're in main draw? Oh,
Yeah.
crap. All right, cool. Yeah, whatever.
There's an easy answer to that question, and the answer is yes. Everything should be tested
I agree.
exactly the same,
I agree.
regardless of what draw it is.
Oh,
Fair is
you
fair.
sweet little summer boy. You think this is like a fair game. Oh, you're so sweet.
I mean, that is the goal
That's
to
the
get
goal.
towards
That's what
fairness.
it should be.
Listen, the thing is, like, pickleball's going to go nowhere unless they bring in gambling. How can you gamble?
David,
Just a segue there.
part of the conversation here,
How
David.
can you gamble when people are not getting drug tested? i.e.
I mean,
Cliff?
they are.
Who's getting tested? Who's getting tested?
I hope, listen, I'm just going to put this out there. If there's a job for someone who gets to pick who gets drug tested, I want to apply immediately. I feel like I would be
You're good?
excellent
You're
at
good
it.
at that?
I was like, definitely
can
high,
tell-
not high, definitely on steroids.
Oh, why you printed on me?
Yeah.
Let's say
He's
it.
been flexing for a while.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a amount of times somebody
Cliff,
called him out.
can you pull up the dumbbell videos?
Oh no, you don't want to see that.
Dang. Okay, sorry guys, you won't be able
Like
to see
the
that.
amount, let's just go the amount of Adderall
Yeah,
that
if you
exists in
see
pro
that, they're
football.
gonna say, okay, this guy is definitely it's up to something. But no, he's natural. Yeah. He's natural.
That's what people
Yeah.
say.
No, I
what
think
they
I think
say.
the real problem is like paddles can get approval and certification based on how they are brand new, and then like weeks in or months in, they're just like core crushed, delaminated, whatever.
Yeah, but
and
also-
they're just gone. And like now it's illegal, but like you still have the USAPA stamp on there, and you can still go play all the USAPA sanctioned tournaments where they don't do testing. And as long as you don't get tested, you can still use the craziest paddle in the
Yeah,
world.
but here's the thing: like they test, so everybody's going to manufacture to the 0.43, right?
Yep.
And now you're getting all your paddles, 10,000 paddles out of China,
Yep.
and you can easily ramp that up, right?
Yep.
All of a sudden, you know, the Yola van has got 100 paddles at every tournament, and the pros are just handing in paddles, see what passes. That's what's going to happen.
That is a standard.
To be
now.
fair, like
And
that's
8
what
to 10
happened. That's
paddles?
what happened in
Yeah.
Rhombus. Is Rhombus had the Ripple fully approved, the R114 fully approved,
Yeah.
DB Core certified. They were about to launch it on January 31st, and then USAPA asked them to send in their manufacturing production versions, and they sent in what came in from the manufacturer for mass production, and those failed.
Yeah.
So like the initial paddles they submitted for testing passed, they got the certification, everything went through. They had a launch date.
Listen,
and then, like,
everybody-
a couple days before the launch date, they asked for paddles that came in from the manufacturer, like the bulk orders, and those paddles failed.
Yeah, I mean, power cells. So everybody has now access to, you know, the testing facilities. Get your paddle tested before you submit it, and then, you know,
Okay, so
uncle,
this
whatever
is what-
comes in.
This is what you have to understand, David. Maybe you're not a little bit into the paddle thing.
Dave is not into the paddle thing?
No,
I think
no.
Dave is more into the paddle thing than most of us.
You
No,
just
no,
named
no, no,
specs
no.
like right off the top.
Wait.
do you have?
Let me explain. So it took me like 9 weeks like to get those paddle approved. So by this time you have to wait. The only reason I can get away with it because I'm doing that by myself. So there is no pressure. Okay. So I have as soon as I get the okay, you got green light, your paddle is approved. Now I start like the production. So what you have to do, David, since I'm small, so I have the control over everything I'm doing. So I make sure like every single paddle, like everything
That
is
comes in, you
tested.
test.
Yes.
So every single paddle that comes out of that container, you test.
Yes. I do.
What do you test
myself.
it with?
I'm a small.
You know?
Yeah.
What do you test it with?
Yeah.
I got
So
my
it's
own.
just like-
No. I got my
Hello?
own thing.
Hello?
So what I do, this is what I do. Every single paddle, I look at it, test it, make sure like it's work. It doesn't have anything before I put it like in and box it and ship it over. Okay. So this is the way we.
Well,
this
Clifford,
is
I
what we
mean, number one, we're not really talking about you. I mean, you know that your paddles are,
Yeah.
Yeah. Paddles are good.
Yeah. My
we're
paddle
talking
is good,
about-
Yeah.
you know, some other manufacturers that are out there.
Why you watching Kim?
Yeah, no, so I think they definitely have to do like random drug testing and
He's really
I
big on
want
the
you to
drug
think.
test.
This is David. This is what I want you to think about the red paddle. So it's like you go into McDonald's. They got a formula, right? It doesn't matter where you go. It's gonna taste almost the same, unless you go to another country because the ingredient is like
Yeah.
different.
India's KFC, shout out.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Best KFC in the world, baby.
So
Love India's KFC.
Oh, we got to get back to
Shameless
it.
plug. Hey, KFC, hit me up with a
the only
sponsorship.
thing you can safely eat in India is peanuts. That's it. Unless you were born there, there's literally nothing else you can eat.
yeah,
It's like the worst analogy.
I know. right?
So your analogy is
He's saying
so his
small
analogy
shop
is
better
small
than big
business
shop.
is for
Hungry
life.
now.
Yeah. So,
Small business for life.
so
Thank
what,
you.
what I'm trying to say,
Clifford,
like,
I'm having a tough trouble.
oh come on, David,
to
focus.
like I don't know if it's your accent or whether it's the way you structure your sentences,
Yeah.
but I've got no idea what you're talking
Okay,
about.
so keep
small
listening.
business for life. That's
Keep
the gist of
listening.
it.
Here, I'll sum it up. Quality control.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
quality
That's what we're
control.
going for,
What
quality
I
control.
do, I make sure like when I make a product, it's a good product. I'm not worried about the paddle get delaminated, nothing like that. Because even before you see like the CLBN, they say they spend like 1 year like trying to develop the paddle, make sure like you got a good product. It took me like 8 to 9 months like to redesign the paddle, make sure like everything works before I sell it to you. So if you're gonna buy a paddle, you don't have to worry about it, just buy it. That's it. This is what I want to say.
Well,
Do you have a discount code?
Oh my gosh.
BK10, BK10,
Nope.
BK10, BK10, just everywhere. Go to bk-pickleball.com.
Every time you say that, I think it's a discount for Burger King. Every time. BK10. BK10. Burger King.
Burger King, hit me up with the sponsorship, baby. Come on. No, so you did bring up the carbon paddle. I did want to go into that a little bit because we've talked a lot about like how much core crushing and delamination has affected the game over the last couple of years. Now we're seeing some brand new core technologies come in. One with Selkirk with the Project 008 and two with Carbon and their True Foam Genesis.
Oh, I got one coming too.
Of course.
I've been working on it for the past 6 months now.
Yeah,
I
fully
just want to
foam
make sure
cores. There's no polypropylene honeycomb inside, like so no risk of core crushing. According to these companies, there's no risk that these paddles will core crush. Should play the same throughout.
I mean,
its
that's
lifetime.
really is not even a starter for me. Whether the core crushes within 6 months, I don't care because the
By
grit
the
is
time-
going to disappear.
Yeah, by the time.
So by the time, you know,
So this is my
and
next.
that's the thing
this
with the gearbox.
This
like
is
the
my
gearbox,
next project.
Yeah.
That thing, I mean, it doesn't lose its power, but it loses its spin. I mean, you need spin.
This is my next project, David. I'm trying to make like a grip that actually lasts. Oh, you see that? You can
this
you can
is-
fix your nail in that thing. It's still legal, David.
Picture what?
Yeah.
Your nail.
Nail.
I thought you
File,
said
you can
melon.
file.
said
He meant
nut.
file your nail. It's the
Yeah.
same
File your
No,
File your nail.
this thing is gritty.
gritty.
Yeah, it's the limit of the USB.
Yeah.
So
Similar to the Proton Project Flamingo.
Yeah.
Have you tried that one? Crazy spin off of that thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what
The
was
carbon's
happening
actually
today.
actually really spinny too. The new
Yeah.
carbons are really spinny. Like I was definitely able to get.
No.
so wait, by
not compared to the
3K.
red.
by
Sorry.
like it being completely foam, you're saying no core crushing? Does that mean no delamination?
So yeah, basically right now, according to how the paddle is made, the only way you could probably get that paddle to really break down is if the surface materials peel off of the core.
Yes.
But isn't that
So there's
considered,
no
like,
there's
advan-
no honeycomb in there. So it's literally just like thick high density foam is the entire core, and then they use a layer of epoxy to bond the carbon fiber and fiberglass layers
So
on
it's
top of it.
just going to be way more secure. On
It
there,
can't compress.
essentially.
So exactly. So there's no because polypropylene is just plastic that's yay thick with air holes in the middle. So if that plastic starts to go, it just crushes, right? So that's what core crushing is you have that honeycomb inside that basically on impact after impact after impact, it just the cells just crunch. So basically that plastic goes from being firm like this to now you get that.
Wow.
Right, so
Okay.
this is basically what happens when you core crush: is the plastic starts to
I
bend.
mean, that's the whole testing right there.
And that's
all
how they test for delamination. Is if it makes this sound right here, paddle's delaminated because it's not supposed to do that, right? But if it's just high density foam, right, there's no way that layer can break down because there's no air pockets. There's nothing in there that can break down the materials. It's just solid and it's just in there.
So you're saying so delamination should be a thing of the past, much less likely.
Yeah,
This
like-
is what they.
this.
This is what they.
It's going to take a
advertise.
minute to get there.
So yeah, and they haven't put out their official PB core numbers. The paddle's not crazy poppy, right? It's not because the foam that people used for Gen 3 was more of a low density foam that allowed for some flexion. The carbon foam is high density thick. There's no squeezing that thing. It's almost rock solid.
Is
There's
that- is
So
that-
what
very
keeps it
very
from
low
popping
density.
then?
Yeah, that'd be-
What absorbs it
So
then?
there's not a lot of pop on the surface.
Okay.
Oh, right.
But what happens instead is they have five layers of carbon fiber on it, and then one layer of fiberglass under. So for hard shots, you basically get that impact where the ball passes through the 5 layers of carbon fiber, activates the fiberglass, and now you have that extra pop only when you have big swings. But when you have soft swings, it just stays on the carbon fiber layer, and you still are able to hit soft shots. So there's not crazy pop on it like some of these honeycomb paddles, where once the core crushes, it basically just trampolines back and forth.
Damn,
So supposedly this should last. The core at least should last you a very very long time. There's no risk of core crushing.
That's intriguing.
Which is a mute point because you're not going to have the grit left.
Yeah, and the paddle is not. Okay, I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say.
What do you want to say? Go for it.
So this is the thing. One of the reason why people they like the Yola or they like the paddle take paddle.
Juice, baby, juice.
Yeah.
It's just pure juice.
Yeah. is the feel of the paddle, right? So this is one of the thing. So you're giving me a paddle that the core is not gonna get crushed, but the paddle is not fun playing with the
I
paddle.
mean, it's still pretty powerful. Like, yes, you're not gonna hit like YOLO levels of power or gearbox levels of power, but it's still plenty poppy. Like, you still have a lot of power. Forster played it this week at APP.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the
great
perfect
paddle.
paddle, perfect paddle is gonna be one that the core is not gonna crush. You still have the power you want, the pop, and still got the grip that lasts at least 8 months. That I think this is the best paddle.
So
you can grip.
yeah, there's a couple things. Yes, for pros where you need that high spin rates like all the time, you're probably still gonna have to replace the carbon
They don't.
pretty frequently.
Yeah.
But as an amateur player, if you're not like most of them aren't worried about how much that ball's spinning. Like they just want a paddle that lasts for a long time.
But remember,
Even a 3.5 will core crush half the paddles on the market right now. Like those polypropylene cores, a 3.5 will core crush those paddles quick.
But that
For
is part
them,
of
I
the
feel
business
like
model
the
of a
carbon
paddle
would be
company.
a great option, or the Selkirk would be a great option, because you don't have that risk, and you can because you're basically, for a lot of these companies, you're paying upwards of $250, $300 for a paddle that's going to last you a month, and then you're going to have to warranty it or get it back, which is insane. But the carbon should these new foam paddles should last you a decent while if you're just playing like a lot of rec games and amateur games, 3.540.
like you're right.
I
No,
feel like
athletes
that might be something that a lot of these
playing with the
players are
paddle.
looking towards.
And I might be like a paddle newbie, like in terms of technology, but I think I remember you saying something about like the dwell time in there too. That's also going to generate spin for you.
So
not
that's why the
necessarily-
carbons are so spinny. Is the dwell time is insanely high because that whole core is foam. The ball sits on the paddle face for so much longer. And
Have
it's
you ever
very
played
obvious.
table tennis?
It's very obvious. As soon as you pick up
Feels
that
like that,
paddle
yeah.
and you hit some drops or rolls or whatever, you can feel that ball sit on that paddle face for a really
So-
long
So
time.
maybe it will keep it.
Wait.
spin,
I have a
maybe.
question. What you used to do before playing pickleball?
Pickleball?
Yeah,
Tennis, baby.
tennis.
Tennis.
Did you play tennis?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I thought you played
College
ping
football.
pong.
Well, I played football, and then whenever I graduated,
I thought you
got
played
into
soccer.
USPA.
Nah, call
no.
it 6'8" soccer. No,
This
get out
guy
of
is a
here.
really big
That's-
soccer player.
That's a quarterback right there.
Guys, you don't want to see me on the soccer field.
That's Tom Brady on steroids right there.
That football was
Oh,
my
so when you
sport.
said football,
Yeah.
you didn't mean football.
No.
Does he look like a non-white?
I don't think so.
It all makes so much more sense now. I was like,
So
wow.
what brought you to pickleball? Why you choose to play pickleball?
Oh man, that's a good story. So I was a football player my entire life. I also played some tennis.
So how old are you? I remember when like a
29?
29
Is
is
this
all
where
my
we are?
entire life.
Have
like
you hit
it's
30
like-
yet? Have you hit 30 yet?
Am I getting drilled?
What
Have
is
you
your
hit
favorite
30
color?
yet, BJ?
Keep going. Sorry.
Nah, well, tennis player, and then we were going to the state championship, USTA. BK is familiar with USTA.
Yeah, very.
Heard of him.
We were going to the state championship up in North Carolina in Wilmington. It got rained out, so we found a pickleball indoor facility, and we went and played, and it was like game over.
No.
Yeah, game over.
Like, I can run so much less.
Listen, I'll tell you a story. When we were at Crush Yard, now everybody knows Napatovich, right?
Yep.
He was a top 10 ping pong player in Moscow.
That doesn't shock me at all.
So,
Dude's good.
Dude.
You've seen him play pickleball. You know he plays table
so
tennis.
Dead inside.
there's a ping pong table, and BJ goes and he absolutely destroys it.
Oh, come on.
Destroys
I'm going to
it.
have to bring Mark
the
and
point.
the podcast
To
to
the
defend
point.
himself.
To the point that he walks away from the table and says,
Shed a tear.
I hurt my arm. playing ping pong."
Here we
Like,
go.
This tear is for Russia.
The guy is a football player.
Hurts.
I'm
This is going-
I'm going to send that to Mark.
Oh yeah. Mark was good, but he
Mark
he
was
was good
fair.
back in his day.
Back in the
Fair in
day.
his
Hanging out.
show.
He's good in
To be
Moscow.
fair, he's over 55. Like,
Yeah.
He's good in Moscow.
So
in table tennis, doesn't matter. So whatever.
It's a
So-
different environment there.
okay, there's something that is not working here. Okay, so you see David,
Sure.
you see how he dressed, and you see that guy over there, the football player. Yeah.
Yo,
so
we just-
what's going on?
What
What's
do you
going
mean?
on with you, Kim?
Okay.
What's going on with you, Kim?
So
What's wrong
some
with
of
my
us
shirt?
play pickleball. Some of us work in pickleball.
Oh, you play?
I play a little, like a schmidget.
Okay.
Listen, it's all on who you partner.
So
But no, some of us work in pickleball. Some of us represent players in pickleball. We build businesses in pickleball. We run tournaments in pickleball.
Okay.
So we don't always have to be in yoga pants. I mean, this is typically what I've looked like my entire life. You all just have to. You're always like, Ken, are you feeling okay?
Okay, this is why I'm a little bit worried.
This is what it is. If you want someone negotiating a contract for you, do you want them dressed like this guy?
Kinda, actually. It's a flex. Like,
I mean, what's the
if
dollar
you're
value of
that
this?
good that you go walk
Yeah,
in with a
it's
t-shirt and
6'8".
like
He can get away with anything. It's
high seam
6'8".
shorts.
Yeah.
It's true. I think one of
These
my
things, they come up further.
BJ's like 3-inch seams there.
I know.
But
The neck up.
how long I know you, Kim?
I know,
I
you've
think
known me a while.
yeah,
but
this is the first
how
time
the
I
rest of
said.
the world knows me, is in a suit, usually, typically, because
I'm
dress
still
for-
gonna.
dress for your
I
part.
still don't understand what you do. Like,
I don't either. We're making it up as we go. We do everything. I think the business of pickleball is evolving, and just like the game is itself. And so, as you're representing players and you're learning how to monetize pickleball, it goes in 50 directions. So, now working in clubs, helping them monetize pickleball. Because how many clubs do we have closing now? Because the design flaw, or they got a little too personal. It became like a love project, and so they're like, oh, a membership should be $4,000, a month for our 4 courts. We saw that happen here in Florida recently, and so that's where the need is for people to have consultants to come in and say, hey, stop it, you're going to be bankrupt in a couple weeks. Same with paddle companies. So I think that's an important piece that we talk about pros all the time, but we never talk about what keeps pros in business, and that's these paddle companies and these businesses that are sponsoring, so they need well taken care of too. The other piece of it is this amateur play. So I have a question for you all. We talk about all the different specs, but as we're all you teach pickleball?
I don't even know what I'm doing here.
So everybody coaches mostly, could coach. So with all the technology out there, all the different UPA versus USAP, how confusing is it for your students? And what do you recommend for them as a paddle besides the obvious choice for you over here?
I don't think you're asking me that question.
I'm not. I'm asking
Okay.
BK.
Okay.
No,
yeah.
no, for real, literally any amateur, anybody under 4.0 really, like, don't spend $300 on a paddle.
Thank
don't.
you.
It's
So
ridiculous.
what do you
Don't
think?
do it. Don't
What
do
do
it.
you think I'm giving you like one of the best paddle, like the best technology you have out there?
Is it
like
a phone minute?
everything you can think
Don't
about
go
it.
down
even.
that road again.
Half of the price. Like you don't need to pay. Like you see, the
Right.
price of the paddle is only $145. If you get BK 25,
BK 10. He only gave me 10% off.
so you
Dumbass.
get 10% off.
So
But
I mean,
to be fair, like that's legitimate. Is like anybody that comes to me under 4.0, because I do a lot of paddle reviews. I test a ton of paddles. I have like 300, 400 paddles sitting at home.
you have a
but
problem.
I do have a problem. But I came from an engineering background. Like my background's in mechanical engineering and computer programming.
We're
Like,
not shocked by that.
I'm a nerd. I'm a
Why
nerd.
I'm not
I'm
surprised.
I thought it
Indian.
was IT, but
Yeah,
okay.
I'm Indian. I'm a nerd. Like this is what happens.
No
This is what
way.
you get. Is I play the sport like an engineer. So like I'm intrigued by what's in a paddle. I'm intrigued by what the technology is. And if you know anything about Indians, we're cheap. So
You're Indian?
Oh, berries.
Didn't you win like a national spelling bee championship?
I did. International.
word?
International.
What was the word?
International. Can't remember. It was in 8th grade.
Oh, jeez. You call yourself a
but
champion.
also-
Yeah, I still remember it.
Second place, but whatever.
First place loser.
No salty. First place is also Indian, so represent me. But it's just one of those things where like $300 paddles, they're made for the pros. And
Right.
if you look at the tennis world or badminton or table tennis, like you don't have amateurs that are going out and buying a legit like Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic like racket. There's replica miniature versions for those amateurs for a lot cheaper that looks the same, doesn't have the same technology, but it's something that they can play with for their skill level where they don't need all the bells and whistles of these $300 paddles. Like I could give a 3.5 a $280 carbon. I could give them a $300+ Selkirk. They're still going to play like a 3.5. So
Almost say that again so people can hear that one more time, because this is a big struggle when I'm teaching, is saying, okay, this is the proper equipment. Now listen, I love the guy who
Yeah.
comes in from head to toe,
Yep.
braces, the sweatband, the Selkirk shirt, the this, the that. And I'm like, I've got something to sell to you. I don't know what it is. I'm going to pull it out of my bag and sell it to you. So we love those people, and paddle companies love those people. But realistically, if we're doing our due diligence as instructors, you know, these paddles are complete overkill for the goal.
100%. Because again, even me as like someone that's like starting to play pro tournaments, like I'm playing high level pickleball. Not every $300 paddle is gonna help me be better at my game.
No.
Like it's all style based. So there are $300 paddles out there that make me play worse than a $120 paddle because it's not built for my game. And that's what people need to understand is you got to find a paddle, one that's specific to your game style. So I try to educate a lot on that. I've put out tons of videos on like how to choose the right shape, how to choose the right core technology, how to choose the right like face technology, whatever you need that's going to help you like improve your style and your game. Like what bothers me the most, like I've recently been talking about this, is elongated paddles are all the rage right now. Like everybody's like, because Ben Johns plays with a 5.5-inch handle. People are playing with 6-inch handles. So like, how big can I get this handle? And then I see people out there with 6-inch handles that hold the paddle.
Yeah, they hold it like this.
Yep. Why? What is this
because
for?
Ben Johns played with
What
it.
is this for? Right? Like, get a shorter handle. Get one that cuts the handle here, 4.5, 5 inches, whatever. Bigger face, right? Now you have way more surface area to hit the ball. Why do you have a 5.5-inch, 6-inch handle and hold a paddle like this? Like, it makes no sense to me. And I see so many players do it on the rec court because they watch the online reviews and they're like, oh, elongated paddles are
It's
great.
your fault. It's your
But
review.
No, it's not.
You're not educated.
Do they even make those paddles?
Yeah,
anymore? Do they
David-
make long face paddles? I feel like every paddle I see on the market
No, so like,
is
the paddle that I use right now,
hunt for
the
them.
paddle that I use right now is the Magnus shape. It's a short handle, long face. So the total length is still 16.5, but the handle's a lot shorter. It's I think 5 or 5.2 inch handle, not the 5.5 or 5.75 like you get from the Carbon 1 or the Perseus or all the other shapes. But the total length is the same. So my face is huge. And I don't need the extra handle length. Like, the handle's perfect for where I play. Even with the new Carbons, I'm using the Carbon 3, which is a 5.25 handle, but the total length is the same as the Carbon 1, which has a 5.5-inch handle. So, like, I don't need the 1/4 inch on the handle, put it on the face, so I can still hold the paddle where I normally do. I don't do a lot of two-ease, and I can still have a much bigger surface area to hit the ball. So, something like that is, like, things you need to think about when you're going out and getting a new paddle. Like, the shape, honestly, probably the most important thing. Like, if you're getting a new paddle, you have to get the right shape for your game. Not every shape is going to be good for your game. Have to get the right shape for your game.
But the thing is, most of the time, they don't even understand
I was going to say,
game.
basically everything you just said sounds like want to an amateur player because it is so advanced to understand weight and length. They don't even know what these
Yeah,
numbers
this is
mean.
too much, yeah.
Exactly.
It's
So
just- they're
literally,
just
I dumbed it
dying
down. I
information.
dumbed it down so much. Like, you can go on my Instagram. There's a video right now where it's like 30 seconds long, and it basically breaks down if you play with an X, Y, and Z style. So let's say you're a banger, you like to hit two-handed backhands, you play a power style, you prefer to play singles over doubles, use an elongated shape, right? If you
Not always.
Not always.
If you have that style, if
Let's
you
go
have
majority.
if you have that style,
Annalie Waters.
if you have that style,
I mean, she's a special case, obviously.
Annalie Waters.
And
she's got
we
tiny hands. That's
Majority-
different. That's
majority
different,
for
right?
amateur play.
That's different.
How
She's
dare
also, is she an adult yet?
How dare you? She got tiny hands.
Got no idea.
Tiny
Like,
hands.
she's got tiny
How dare
hands.
you?
Is she an adult yet? I'm just saying. Like,
Come
When
on.
did you see your hands?
say what?
When did you see your hands?
I'm just saying, bro. Have you seen the handle on that thing? You gotta have tiny hands to use that. Gotta be.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna brought up that he got big ass.
I'm gonna
hand,
get
yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
I do have big ass
Here
hands.
we
I've
go.
never met
This
someone
is
with
the
bigger
only
hands
thing
than
you
me.
wanted to
I
mention.
got big ass hands.
Here we go.
I like putting like 3 overgrips on my paddle. It's fine.
Okay, so
but-
back on track for the average,
Yes.
the majority.
But
of
like,
a
it's just
amateur player.
it's a way for you to break it down. So like
Okay,
those
well,
skills you can play them, right?
Listen, all I'm saying, if I'm going to take a lesson from you and you tell me, listen, don't spend
You can't afford me.
$200. Don't spend $200. Go get that $50 Walmart paddle.
No
Then-
No,
one's
that's
gonna
not the that's
No
not the
one's
thing.
saying
My
So
money
I don't
back.
I don't
No
I
one's
don't
saying
recommend
that.
I don't recommend that. Like I
No.
think the
What do you
low-
recommend?
The cheapest ones I've recommended are probably the 11624 paddles. I think
you
they
sell them?
are fantastic.
The jelly bean?
the Jelly Bean, the Monarch series, now they've changed their branding to Pegasus and Vapor. The new power paddles are insane. They are one of those companies that really just put value for money first. So the construction on that paddle is basically Gen 2 technology on their old series. Gen 2 technology for under $130. Like, it's legit, like CFC surface. You get carbon fiber, fiberglass carbon fiber, which is like one of the best surfaces on the market. You get the honeycomb, you get the Gen 2 construction, you get fully.
But that
thermoformed.
doesn't matter if
But
it doesn't
it's all
fix
under-
your style of play.
Who wants to buy
You
my
have to
red
start,
Yeah.
and then I think
No,
as you
but that's the
cater
thing
skill,
is
you
like
cater
that's
to
the thing.
paddle.
So they have 3 different shapes. Like it's a good way to start. Is like don't get a $300 paddle in the same shape with the same materials. Go get the 100 to 130. Like Jelly Beans, like $80. You can get them for $80. Black Friday they were selling those things for $60. That's any other brand sells
saw
that
you
for
in line.
$250.
So
That's
thi-
crazy.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay, this is what I do. I hit a few ball with you, and I just tell you, okay, this is the paddle you need. That's it. I make it easy for them.
Is it wait? But
And
is
he
it,
say,
is
but
it your
I
paddle
don't
or
like
is
it.
a different
And he's
paddle?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
go use the red. Yeah.
No. I say I don't like it. Trust me, try it. And after you try it, you say, thank you, Cliff. I love the
No,
paddle.
but that's
yeah.
the thing. It
I
is,
mean, I
it
think
is
we
a
all
game
do
style
that. We all
thing.
say, okay, based on this is my
Exactly.
recommendation.
Yeah, because
That's how
I
I'm
can see
evaluating,
that.
right? As a coach,
Because if
that's
you're
how
gonna
I'm
put them
evaluating.
like to do the work, they're not gonna do it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even when I recommend the brand, it's like I see their game style, and then I recommend what shape, I recommend which paddle.
I make it easy for them. Like I say, okay, you see, I'm not gonna even give them like 2 choices, only one. Get that
Yeah,
paddle.
the
That's
red
it.
paddle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I do
Red.
too. Choices
Not
are
the red. Yeah.
because what
Yeah,
they're going to do is base
100%.
it on what color they
guess.
like.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
different.
be real,
I
be
like-
real.
yeah.
Let me
But
guess.
the other
You
thing is-
recommend gamma 99% of the time. Gamma.
Listen,
Yeah.
don't
What
be
is
hating
that,
on Gamma.
David?
Gamma
The other
makes a
thing is like
solid
people
product.
people
Solid.
demo a ton of paddles, and that's another issue. Is like it takes about 2 to 4 weeks to really get used to a paddle.
That's the
and
next
feel it
thing.
out,
That,
right?
That's why I think it's
Which
important
like
to stick with it.
there's a couple different arguments to this, which I've heard a lot. Is one, if a lot of people say if you don't like the paddle, as soon as you try it, like it's not the paddle for you, right? Like there's that
That's
argument.
I'm
Which is-
I'm
which is
not-
crazy.
I'm not.
So-
I'm
It's
not
not
agreeing
addressed.
Because
with
the minutia in changes is so small, and
Alright,
it takes you a while
so-
to adjust.
So
your
this is
swings.
my question to you then. Do you do paddle fittings?
For a lot of the people I coach and for rec players, yes. So,
you
basically,
charge them an hour
yes,
or whatever,
100%.
and you take them through your demos that you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
They make a choice, and then you wait it for them everything. Because I don't think anybody does that.
So I don't wait it for them. I recommend how to weight it, but I don't wait it for them.
Yeah, you should wait
but
it
I,
for
but
them.
I
and then
recommend
you should
it.
play and
But I recommend it. But basically, yes. Like a lot of people come in. I've got a lot of clients that have bought paddles after trying them. But it's basically I'll do, like almost like 30 to 45 minutes of like game evaluation to see how they hold a paddle, how they swing, how big is the backswing, how big is the follow through. Are they short and compact? Are they big swingers?
fantastic. Do you do that?
I do actually send my paddles home with them for
Yeah.
till their next
Because
lesson.
you
I wanna
also
hear what they
got to
think.
pay
I mean,
attention to the grip. Do they use Eastern, Continental, V grip, Western, semi-Western? Like how do they hold a paddle? Because some of these have rounded handles, some of these have rectangular handles, some of these have like. It just depends on your game style. Like not every paddle has the same handle.
But in those moments, our
circumference.
priority is being an instructor, not selling a paddle. I mean, that is mine. I'm
no,
not
so-
trying to make
no,
a
but you're
sell
missing
a
the
paddle.
point. You're missing the
I
point.
don't
You
even.
can-
But it's like
gotta sell
every
the fitting. You
single
gotta sell
thing
the
that I
fitting.
mentioned here helps me as a coach too.
Right.
Right. So every single thing that I mentioned here
Right.
helps me as a coach. So it's something I naturally notice. As soon as I get a client, these are things I naturally notice.
Okay.
Which like one helps me in coaching, but two, if they ask me for a paddle recommendation, now I have one.
Okay, BK, this is the drill. So they see me playing with one paddle. Let's say I'm playing with the red and started
Sure, you are
doing some
playing with the red.
stuff, and they say,
Shocking.
"What is happening? I like that paddle." They think like because I can hit.
They
the
don't
ball,
know
like
it's
I said,
steroids.
So I
they
say
think,
this.
yeah,
I
they
say
think
this
it's
all-
because of the paddle.
steroids.
I say this
Okay.
all the time,
Genetics.
which is the
Genetics.
number one reason people buy paddles. Is
Yeah.
because like they see somebody use a paddle
What
really well, and they're like, that paddle is why they won. I'm gonna go get that paddle, which is crazy because their game style might be way completely different than yours. And just because you get the paddle that they're using doesn't mean you're gonna now go
But they
ahead and beat
think
them.
their game style.
But
like,
they do.
I think I
and
play
like
like
people come to me
No, I
all
think
the
it's more
all
for
the
style
and I'm not
points.
even joking, all the time, and they're like, "Can you teach me how to hit Cliff's like flick?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, can you teach me how to hit like your your slice and like
Right.
things like that. And I'm like,
It's not gonna happen.
not everybody can do that. Like the
Body
way you hold the
mechanics.
paddle, first off, just the way you hold the paddle means that you can't hit either of those shots.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing to do with you. It's just a fact, right?
Okay.
If I need to help you hit that shot, I got to change your entire game. Entire way you hold the paddle, way you move your feet, way you do everything, I got to change it. But if that's not your strength, if your strength lies elsewhere, work on building that up while like nullifying your weaknesses.
So I want people like to understand that like the pro player, like any like strong like 4-5-5 player, they can play with whatever. David, I don't think you can. If the paddle is not like a cannon, I don't think you can
Yeah,
play with
I
it.
mean,
because you're a little bit weak. You need help.
Like, there's really no reason for me to.
Yeah, but
Listen, I'm not going to show up at the golf course with a persimmon driver. I'm going to
here
buy.
we go.
You gotta get the Callaway as
the
the Titleist.
fastest
Like,
pedal that I can control. That's it. That's
so-
what people should do.
I can.
Why
It
does-
doesn't matter.
Because you know what? The third shot drop is dead. It's
Yeah.
dead.
But why do you need that on the
doesn't-
right side?
I'm-
Why do you need that on the right side? you just need to
To
do
set you up for shake and
You're
bake.
here to be a helper. A helper.
So the thing is, it doesn't matter what you give me, I can play with it. And I can still do it most of what I used to do with the paddle. So I don't want people like to so focus on the paddle is gonna make me better. So when you're looking for a paddle, this is what I told you. You have to find like a paddle. Now, if you want to change your entire, game style and stuff like that, you can, I'm gonna go with the paddle. But if you don't want to change your style, you just want to improve, that you have to find like a paddle that allows you to do that. So
It should play to your strengths.
Varus, when I created based on my game, because I don't need paddle to generate power. I can generate my own power. What I was looking is like, the paddle is light, swing weight is very light, so I can swing.
Long handle.
Long handle that give me reach and a lot of speed.
Yep.
Okay, so I designed it for me. I can reset, I can control, I can go angle, I can control the ball. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so now the red paddle, when I created, I didn't create it for me because this is not my style. I don't need a paddle to give me power. So when the paddle got power on it, so now I cannot hit the ball hard. I'm gonna have to slow down. Yeah. So for
Which is
me,
Play
actually
at 50%.
Which
Yeah.
now how is actually I get him in points is like today I just like would hit down counter and
Yeah.
just duck because
so now
balls be flying
what
out.
what I have to do, because this is not my style, the paddle, it doesn't combine with my style, but that level I am right now, I can adjust to anything. So even though it took me like 2 to 3 weeks to get used to the paddle, so now I can play with it. I can do most of the thing I used to do with the Varus. The only thing I'm missing is not I'm missing, I don't have, is like the extra length, so a little bit longer. But now,
You're playing so much better with that paddle. Though.
so now I
He's
play
playing so
better.
much better
Yeah, I
with it.
play better with it.
But
because-
it did take him a while. It's
Yeah,
like,
it took
it's
me a
what I'm
minute
trying
to get
say
used
is
to it,
like,
so
it's
this-
like, is this paddle better for him now than the Vorus? Absolutely.
Absolutely, but I
when he
have to
first
adjust.
picked it up after he used the Vorus, was he
I
playing
couldn't
better
play-
with this than
no,
the
I
Vorus?
couldn't.
Absolutely not.
No,
And
I
that's the
couldn't.
thing. There's a time period where you have to kind of adjust your game style for the paddle, which is not a bad thing, right? And that's what I'm trying to get at is I used to play with the Vorus too.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was great for my game. But I used to swing big. I used to swing really big. I used to take big backswings on my drive. I used to take really big backswings on my serve. My counters full swing. And that paddle did great when I was doing all those things. And then I started
Gen
feeling
3
slower.
happened.
Once the Gen 3s came out, I felt like I wasn't hanging in the hands battles. I couldn't put away the ball against these hotter paddles. Had to switch to a hotter paddle. And then when I switched to a hotter paddle, I was still playing like I was playing with the Vorus, but all these balls were sailing. So I was definitely playing worse than I was with the Vorus, but it took me about 2, 3, 4 weeks to get used to the heat, get used to the pop, shorten out my swings. Counters got a lot tighter, drive got a lot tighter, everything got easier. And now my game feels way better than it did with the Vorus, but that's because my game style has now kind of a little bit adjusted to the paddle because now I can trust the paddle to do the work.
What are you
Yeah.
playing, by the way?
Right now, I'm playing the Yola 3S. I'm waiting on the Yola Pro 4. I'm gonna switch to that soon. But I played with the Carbon. I think the 11624 Power Series. That's the other one that I'm really looking forward to try. That paddle. I played against it a few times, and it does everything that I want it to do. Just seeing my opponents use it, it's been doing everything that I want a paddle to do. So that's a paddle that I'm really looking forward to try. But yeah, Yola Pro 4 coming soon. I'll get my hands on it next week. Super excited to try that. It's supposed to be a little softer than the 3S. It's not going to have that big heat, but yeah, looking forward to it. But it's just one of those things where you still have to get used to a paddle regardless. So going from 3S to a Pro 4 is still going to take me some time.
This is a way for me to tell you that I like you, and you're gonna be missed.
I appreciate
Oh,
it.
isn't he coming back?
Oh, he's not. Though you know he's not coming
guys,
back,
guys,
David.
I'm not dying. I'm not leaving it forever.
That
I'll be
was
back
really
tomorrow.
awkward just now.
Yeah, he's not
mean-
coming back. You know he's not. You remember what happened last time?
Listen, he's going to run back because he is going to hate the lack of diversity in Australia. He's just, like every Tuesday night, he's hanging out.
I think the only thing he's gonna hate is going there with a girlfriend. So
Oh, no, don't take that bait. Don't take that bait.
So
Is
There's
she
like
watching?
1,000 ways to die there.
They don't have. They don't have
Like a
This is
DEI
called
over there.
entrapment,
They,
and
It
DK
is.
is only
It
doing it 'cause he's
I'm
single.
going to protect you on that one.
I've been waiting for that line.
All he said was how delighted he is to go with his girlfriend. There you go.
Thank you, Kim.
The only
There
one
you go.
talking smack is David over there.
Clifford,
Like
you'll
always.
be, if you go to Australia, you will be a superstar, a head turner.
A superstar.
I hate to,
Wow, more so than
Why? Why,
Orlando.
David?
Huh?
They
Why?
don't have any black people over there.
Oh, they don't. They
He's a
don't.
6'8" white boy. What more you need?
They don't have black people over there.
There's no black
I've
people in
never seen
Australia
them.
at
I've
all.
never seen them over
No,
there.
there's none.
I don't think that's true. Let's look
Do
that
they play
statistic
pickleball?
up.
I watch a
Do
lot
they-
of cricket. I've never seen a black Australian cricketer. So
Yeah.
I'm
Do
just
they
saying.
play pickleball, BJ?
Yes, in
You guys-
Australia.
Uh-huh.
If you guys make this go
yeah.
viral,
Yeah, 6-0
I'm
from
joking.
there.
I'm
They're
joking,
great.
everybody.
Let's do this. Long story short, shout out to the red paddle. Cliff did a great job on this paddle. Fantastic.
Thank you, BK.
I actually really do like this paddle. Not one to bluff on a paddle, but fantastic paddle. If you are looking for a good power paddle in today's market with the USAPA, PB
good
court
price.
price and everything, plus for $145,
Yeah, better
that's
price
not
I
bad at all.
paid.
Yeah, that's a really good value for money paddle right there.
Work hard on it.
Definitely a little bit more juicy than the paddle tech. Plays. I mean, a lot more control too. Like plays really well. So, yeah. Get your hands on the red paddle if you haven't already. Use the code BK10 so I get my
Here we
commission.
go. Here we go.
But apart from that, yeah, if you want any paddle recommendations and you're trying to get a paddle fitting, like as David mentioned, like we'll do that. Absolutely do that. So if you're in Orlando, come hit us up. Myself and Cliff both coach in the area. So we'll help you find the right paddle for your game with an evaluation. No worries at all. If you are looking for another paddle, just leave it in the comments too. We'll try to help out as much as we can. Thanks, David, Kim, BJ, for joining us today. Pickleball Courthouse officially back.
Yep. Well, I just want to end by saying, so I paid $170, and now it's $145.
That's
David,
the
this is
David
the-
Nell premium.
This is the friends and family price.
That's the
David.
David. As for now, until next time, the court is officially adjourned.
All right.
All right, let's
Thank
make
you,
this
Kim.
cheers.
Thank you, David.
Sir.
Thank you, BJ.